I always need to be accomplishing something, even if it means sleepless nights. I work 60 hours a week, building a house and in a serious relationship. I feel so exhausted on a physical level. No one tells me to be this way. So how do I learn to say no to myself?
Okay. So in my work, of course, there's what's happening on the top, which is doing. But always we're looking at what's underpinning that. And so without working with you, Beverly, I don't know, but my assumption would be that there's a program running there, and that program, if it were a microchip that's gone into your unconscious, sounds something like, I have to do to be of value. Now, if I were to work with you, we would very quickly get to the origins of where that comes from. And, usually if we say, who did you have to be in your family of origin to be a good girl? We very quickly get there, right? This is something that I can relate to tremendously. My dad was a businessman. My family was very much about external achievements and accomplishments, and we're all wired to attach, right? We're all wired to be loved. So how did I get love and recognition? Oh, when I did something, when I achieved something, when I accomplished something, If I'm just over here in the garden looking at a snail, not so much, right? So very quickly, my conditioning is I am good when, right? Or I have to be of value. So I get my sense of, for a long time, I got my sense of self, my sense of accomplishment, my sense of achievement in a day based on a lot of externally held metrics, which were things that I achieved. Look how good I am. I have a clean house. I have this, I have this, I have this, right? Where we want to get to for peace is balance. So to hold that demonic belief in balance, and I call it demonic because it's like getting things done is like a fire, right? Imagine you've got this fire in your belly and it's this beautiful kind of nurturing imbalance fire, and you can cook from it and you can create from it. I mean, you're building a house from it, you're having a relationship from it, you're working from it. It can be really positive. So when it's in balance, when it's not in balance and it rages out of control, it will burn the house down. So how can I hold it in balance? Well, I need the opposing belief, and an opposing belief to I have to do to be of value would sound something like, I'm going to put a new program in that says, I am enough as I am. Now, if I just tried that on for a minute, right? Like if I genuinely believe, in fact, I invite everybody who's listening, just in this moment, just try it on for a minute, like you are enough as you are. Now, suddenly, if I'm enough as I am enough. Whether I have ADHD or I don't have ADHD, I am enough. Whether I have the conversation about being called girls or I don't have the conversation, I'm enough. In fact, I can have the conversation because I'm enough, because my value isn't contingent on what you think it is and how I'm showing up. I'm enough. I'm enough to have the conversation at work about needing time out, because I don't need to be forever working for you 365 days a year to be of value, because I'm enough. So I get very passionate about this as well. And I've just caught myself. I'm like, how long have you been talking, Katie? And is it time for a pause? But the guts of this is something that you absolutely can work with. But again, it's not just cerebral intelligence that you onboard. It's really deep self-reflection about where is that coming from and how can I hold that in better balance.
Excellent. Wes, anything to add?
Oh, God. Beverly, I feel you. This is my life. And I'll be really honest, I've had about 10 therapy sessions answering this specific question. And Katie just gave me, I could have saved so much money if I just met Katie in a park. This is how we first met. And you just distilled the last minute of 5 minutes for me. It makes sense. This is me, Beverly. I am this dog that just can't stop doing stuff and can't ever rest. But I mean, I had lots of sessions trying to understand why I just every Saturday morning I'd wake up and we had to achieve, come on family, let's go and do something. Otherwise the weekend's a failure. Or if I haven't done this today, I sleepless nights, everything. And then the trick that worked for me, and this is kind of more, this is, God, I don't know if this is the right advice to give, but this worked for me. Okay. So I told myself all this stuff I wanted to do, all this stuff I wanted to achieve, I can't do unless I rest, asleep, and do nothing. And I started learning about LeBron James, who let's face it, he's achieved a lot more than some of us. He's doing okay for himself. But the number one thing he puts down to his success is sleep. He's religious about his sleep and rest and doing nothing. So for me, again, it's that superhuman strength. What keeps me, my superhuman power, embracing it? What do I need to do in order to do all these amazing things you're doing? Do nothing. That's the best thing you can do. So when you kind of let go of that guilt, when you're actually doing nothing and just spending time with your kids, just looking at snails in the garden or just laying down, staring at the TV, it's awesome. That kind of time and rest is fueling you to go again and achieve all this stuff you want to achieve. And it was a hard lesson that took me 10 therapy sessions and about $2,000. And I finally can kind of relax a bit more and be at ease with doing nothing.
That is brilliant. Also, this is, as you've both kind of said, actually entirely normal. The research that we have from Mentally Healthy told us that the number one stressor for people is the pressure of their own expectations. And it's funny because, we are in an industry sometimes where we feel like we're being told that we have to, work hard to stay hard. But actually, if you were to just question that a minute and turn around and go, wait a minute, I think maybe it might be me telling me to do that. And so, you do have the opportunity to just kind of say no to yourself now and again, which I think is excellent. I love just getting to do nothing. That is, I live for the opportunity when that comes along.
And to value it, I listened to this great podcast, and I forgot who it was, but it was an American trainer, and he trains all the top athletes. And he was saying, the only reason you train is to elicit the rest and repair response. Because in the rest and repair, the muscles are strengthened and rebuilt. And I spend my life training athletes to focus on rest and repair, because that's where the real strength and potential comes from. And I thought, wow, as a society, and of course I'm thinking about it not in the physicality of the body, but in the kind of emotional body and all the people I work with, we are so conditioned, aren't we? It's so pervasive that I think it is slowly beginning to change. But this idea of external achievement and acquisition is so heroed. And we've really lost the art of self-care, which is an expression of self-love, which without holding that, you can't hold yourself in balance in anything in life, and these questions are just examples of it. So really good question.